So first, a little bit about anatomy and physiology. Right, our pelvis is essentially a bowl shape. We have our pubic bone, we have our tailbone, and then we have our right and left sides. So through your pregnancy, your curves change to create space for baby and your growing uterus. And then as you get ready for your birth experience, your pelvis starts to widen, right? And so no matter how you deliver, your body does that anyways because we physiologically, your hips will widen. We have that like flat butt syndrome, like people like to talk about. You get some soreness or lightning crotch through your pubic bone area, and then all of those muscles around there also change. The big thing we talk about a lot with postpartum is we want to create as much balance as we can, right? Postpartum and pregnancy too, absolutely. But postpartum, we want to recreate that balance. Um, we want to create where the front and the left, the front and the back and the right and the left all are working as balanced and symmetrical as possible to allow our core and our pelvic floor to all heal because all of those muscles insert into those areas. If those are offset or that bowl shape is tipped or twisted or whatever it might be, we don't have the muscle attachments the way we want them to be. So it's really hard for them to heal the way we need them or the way we want them to be. We want to create that stability. So what I like to just talk about a lot with moms is a lot of us are right dominant and the back side is going to be a little bit tighter than the front side. Most women who struggle with pelvic floor issues or core issues typically have an imbalance throughout that kind of bowl shaped area. Now, what I find most often is that most pelvic floor issues are caused by too much tension, not weakness, because we are always glute clenching, right? We have our flat butt from being postpartum. We are gaining our stability and our strength by squeezing our butt because our core is not as strong as we would like it to be postpartum or pregnant. And so then our glutes really over fire and create more tension on the backside of our pelvis. And typically that right side, because most of us are right side dominant. And if you're holding kids, we're hip hiking, right? And so that right hip's going to be jutted out or left hip is jutted out depending upon the situations. And so what we want to make sure is we are creating that balance throughout the right and the left and the front and the back. So what we want to work on is getting those muscles to start firing and mobility to get that backside to lengthen out. And so a lot of what I'm talking about today, right now, or this video, is going to be trying to find where your balance issues are, or do we have any? Okay. So first, we're going to start with the difference between our back and our glutes. So a lot of moms are back dominant because we basically are using back here versus using our core 360 as we're doing our movements. And so what we want to do is try to work on separating those out, or at least like finding out where you are. So ways we're going to do that. We're going to start with a glute bridge lay. So we're laying on our backs, okay? What I want you to work on is keep those heels as close as you can to your bottom. And I want you to do a nice big exhale and lift up. When you do that, I want you to feel, do I feel my glutes contracting? Do I feel my lower back contracting? Do I feel both of them? What I would like you to feel is mostly being your glutes. Very little low back, mostly glutes. However, most moms have a lot of back engagement when they're doing that movement. So just kind of being aware of where you are at. The next one, to kind of see where our core is at, is going to be a bear hold. So we're going to be on our hands and knees, knees under our hips, wrists under our shoulders. And we want to tuck those toes under, take a nice big exhale, and lift up. Now, when you do that, and then inhale as you lower down. When you do that, I want you to start to be aware of, do I feel my abs engaging when I do this, where I feel here contracting, or do I only feel it in my lower back? Okay. Again, separating out that lower back engagement. And then the last one of my favorite moves, but kind of helping you decipher right versus left, is I want you to work on a 90-90 lift. And so we're sitting in a 90-90, so right knee and left knee are 90. Now the lift part of it is going to be, I just want you to lift up and then lower down, nice and slow and controlled. Try not to use your upper body. We're using just our pelvic mobility and just our pelvic muscles and our abs. Okay, so we're gonna lift up onto that front knee. Okay, and then nice and slow, I want you to lower back down. Okay, then we're gonna lift up again, nice and slow, and then sitting back and down as we switch it out. Okay, you can do like 3 to 5. Usually you can feel that difference pretty easily, side to side as you're going. Then I'm going to switch my sides out, and I'm going to lift up onto that knee and then lower back down. And then again, lift up, good, and lower back down. So I'm going to create a checklist for you to be able to kind of see where you are at, right versus left, front versus back. Are we using our abs? Are we just using our back? Kind of where are we at there? Okay, that's the first thing I want you to do. The next thing I want you to work on is breath work. I'm going to have you grab a block or a book. It just helps give you a little bit better feedback. And I want you to sit crisscross applesauce on that block, okay? So the big thing what that breath work does is it helps us to get our abs to re-engage, right? We're creating that muscle brain connection again, trying to get those abs to start working along with all the movements that you're doing on a regular basis, and also try to work on getting your back to do a little bit less, right? So I like to teach mostly like we have our hands on the bottom part of our rib cage. We are doing a nice inhale. We are relaxing, letting that belly fall, relaxing our hips, relaxing those ribs. As we exhale, we are going to engage our abs by lifting our abs, pushing out into those hands, and getting that lower back to relax. Okay, so working on inhaling and relax, exhale, engage those abs, and push out into those hands. As you start to get a little bit better at it, you will feel as you exhale, you'll feel your pelvic floor start to lift. Okay, and so as your pelvic floor lifts, I'm engaging my abs. Then I inhale and I relax. Okay, exhale, engage those abs, having that pelvic floor lift. Inhale, relaxing. The thing that a lot of women do, especially postpartum, is that they're inhaling and they're sucking in, right? And so if you try that, feel how much pressure gets put on your pelvic floor when you are inhaling and sucking. Okay, that's why if we exhale and engage our abs, we are creating more stability through our pelvic floor, not applying more downward pressure. Okay, so try those couple of things. Work on that mobility, see where you're at, right versus left, abs versus back, and then working on breath work. Can we start to get those muscles engaged? I really like to have you sit on a block, close your eyes, 5 minutes of breathing, just kind of feel where all the things are at. And can we start to get that breath and that pelvic floor to work together?